Python. It's just helping me to acquire more skills, which I've never thought would be acquired by me if I do it myself with the like with the deadlines and with the tasks assigned to us. We are just forced to, or we are enforced that yeah, we have to complete this, which in a certain way is helping us to achieve something good.
Sakshi, that is wonderful. In fact, I would say reviews like these impact on students in such a way is the only driving force which helps us strive hard and creating events, uh, forming out proposals and stuff. It was really great listening from you. Thank you
Thank you,
so much.
Shreyash. Thank you.
Yes. A- Anyone else who would like to share their opinion?
Hi, uh, my name is Shivani.
Hi, Shivani. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, Shivani. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Shivani.
Yeah, I'm from Vizag, Visakhapatnam, and
Okay.
I'm currently studying third year in engineering.
Okay.
And I would like to say one thing. Usually, programs like this are, I mean, I'm sorry, but a little tad boring. I mean, but
Okay.
this program, oh my God, it's so fun, and I learn so much, and I'm having so much fun with it. And it's like I learn every day new things. And at the end, Saturday, I look forward to the sessions, like going to happen today, what are we going to learn. And the last interactive session was so good and so fun, and the quizzes were good. The data camp one, it is so good. The whole thing is so good, and all of the members are so supportive and nice. So that's what I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivani. Thanks for your feedback. In fact, I would say we are glad that we could change your perception towards courses like these. And we really expect, we hope that you participate in our upcoming events as well. It was great listening from you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
The next participant, please.
Hi, I am Medhasvita Sen.
Hello.
Hello,
Pardon me, please.
I am Medhasvita Sen.
Hi, Medha.
I am from Calcutta and I am currently pursuing BSc Statistics. I am in my second year from Lady Brabant College under Calcutta University.
Okay. How do you
So
like their event?
I really like this event because though I'm studying statistics and coding is not a very integral part of my curriculum, but I want to become a data scientist, and this is really the knowledge that I was looking forward to gather, because coding knowledge is very integral to studying data science. So I really enjoyed the program.
Nice, nice. Thank you so much, Mida, for sharing your feedback. In fact, I would say you would have an upper hand in your class. You also know Python coding skills also, so that would really help you. And I would say informally, those will give you the bragging rights in front of your class. I would definitely do that.
Thank you.
So, thank you, Mida. Now, I would like to hear from one last participant. Anyone who would like to go ahead?
Hello, Shreyas.
Hi, who is
Hi,
this?
hi, hi. This is Nidhi,
Hi,
and
Nidhi. Where are you from?
yeah, actually, I'm from Bangalore, and I'm a dentist. So, I would like to say that this Python course or a computer programming, it's new to me,
Okay.
and and I really like this to play with computer. I would say this is the first time I'm doing such type of course, and I completed actually my BDS in 2012. So after that. I was not in a touch with this high tech, means this computer or laptop, but this time I have started this course, and it's like I would say it's like a video game. Like when we complete the task, it gives us some points. So I really love this course, and I want to in future means I want to collaborate this dentistry with machine learning, means a medical science with machine learning, you can say. And I don't know how I can how I can use this as an application in my future, but I really want to complete this course and go ahead with something new. I want to do something. Could you please help me out in finding a way?
Yes, Nidhi, sure. In fact, your idea sounds super cool to me. You can drop an email to IEEE CSGHRC, and we would love to help you and collaborate with doctors and
Yeah,
applying
yeah,
data
yeah.
science into dentistry. It would be
Yeah,
awesome.
something means if means the idea is in the idea what is in my mind is if we can train the computer to check the x-rays, and suppose if if computer will find out in future, like if computer will find out mm, what is the dental caries, and what is the extent of dental caries after looking the x-ray. So some kind of this thing I'm expecting uh, to do this type of thing with this course. Okay, like
That is, that is super cool, Nidhi. I wish you all the best. And I would say on behalf of IEEE CIS we would love to collaborate you on such project.
okay. Thanks, Shreyas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nidhi. Thanks for answering. Over to you, Paresh.
Thank you, Shresh. Okay, so first of all, in the first group, we'll be having Priyal Gandhi, Asta Patel, Aditi Jagdale, Deepshika, Kritika Shah, Sakshi Gupta, Sonali Dalai, Vidushi Goyal, Smriti Naik, and Anjali Hassani. I hope I was clear. Okay, so Atharva, you may show them the topic, and okay, you'll get 6 minutes. Huh? So for the first minute, you can just
आप
think
शांत हो जाओ,
and
group discussion start होगा.
you just think about it and all your thoughts, and then you can discuss for the next 5 minutes.
आप शांत हो जाओ, group discussion.
Atharva, the timer, please. Hello everyone. The thing is, I did not divide the groups before coming here. I just divided them now because I was not sure who will join and who not. I will repeat the names once again if you want. Priyal Gandhi, Asta Patel, Aditi Jagdale, Deepshika, Kritika Shah, Sakshi Gupta, Sonali Dalai, Vidushi Goyal, Smriti Naik, and Anjali Hassani.
It magnifies the ability to use personal information in ways that it intrudes on our privacy interests by raising analysis on our personal information to different levels of power and speed. And we can say like it due to the analysis and predictions and all by uh, compiling all the information, it actually enters to our privacy, but not much, because if we are training a machine, then it needs the analysis, so it takes both. I think so. I would like to look forward for others' opinions.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Yes, you may proceed. I will not interfere. Once the first member starts
Hello.
speaking, other members should automatically start speaking. After that done.
Hello, everybody. I'm Anjali Hassani. What I personally think is like AI interrupting the privacy of the people
Hello.
is something. Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Hello.
Anjali, you are audible. You can continue.
Yeah, it's whole. It's depended upon. It depends upon person to person how we are using it. Like there are many tasks for which AI is very important. Like AI has made life very easier. Like we are doing many stuff with AI, and while when you're thinking that it's interrupting your privacy, then you can not use at that time. But we cannot like uh, you know uh, say that it's not right using AI or that.
Hello, good evening everyone. Me Sonali Dalai. Actually, can you hear me?
Yes.
Actually, AI is the system development by machine to we are giving some access to the machine to do something or knowledge for accessing data. It may be it has no privacy. Maybe the machine could explain the data in front of us. That's why this type of AI.
Yeah, like you are exactly right. Because in iPhones, I mean, I don't know much about AI because I've not deeply researched into it or something like that. But what I've seen around me, like some of my friends have iPhones and all, and they have that face recognition feature. Sometimes the phone doesn't recognize the owner only. So, like, maybe it's so accurate that
Okay, I would
Please
like
don't
to
mind
add to
the timer.
this.
Go on as long as you have things to say.
I would like to add to this. So our topic is AI is not trustable relating to privacy issues. I would like to say that as we have seen in many movies, like some science fiction movies, like I hope that we all must have seen
Hello.
seen the Terminator and all, but exactly what is AI supposed to be? Actually, AI, like we are assuming to lose our job doing all the work case which they are showing, then there's significant.
I think you're not audible.
Yes, Sakshi, you are not audible. There is some connection issue from your side.
Yeah, someone else in the group wants to add something to this.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Aditi Jagdale. So recently we have seen in the news that about Riya Chakravarti that her privacy issues had been hindered by AI too, which could be also example of AI is not trustable because in news also many of her chats has been leaked. So this is a privacy issue according to me. I think so. So
Yes, I support your point, Aditi. That AI actually, in some situations, it enters to our privacy and it's not trustable in that point.
So I am also saying that it is not trustable too. But
Yes.
Another, according to my point of view, also that in this digital era, AI is the only thing that we are means pursuing. Rather, hello.
I think everyone in the group one has said what they wanted to say. Atharva, I think from the next time we should increase the timer to 15 minutes. Atharva, can you hear
Okay,
me?
Paresh. Yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay, so we are done with the first one, and definitely
I think
participants
we should conclude.
Yeah,
I think we should
please go
conclude
ahead.
our all the points. Uh, I think in this group discussion, we came to a conclusion that yes, AI is not trustable, but at the same time, it is adding to our technology a lot. So, being keeping in mind the pros and cons as well. AI, we need AI, but with some privacy. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So Athava, please increase the timer, and now I'll be calling out the names for the second group. For second group, we have Akansha Singh.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt. Can you put me in second group as another exam at 8 o'clock?
Yeah, can you please share your name?
Yeah, Bhanugaria Dhruvita.
What?
Bhanugaria Dhruvita.
Okay, Dhruvita. Is it right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll have 11 participants in the next group. So
Thank you.
Dhruvita, Akansha Singh, Deepika Janvi Soni, Nimisha, Nitisha, Khushbu Agnihotri, Komal Gaikwad, Mansi Rasika Nilatka, and Riddhi Nilavar. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong or something. I'll repeat. Dhruvita, Akansha Singh, Deepika, Janvi Soni, Nimisha, Nitisha, Khushbu Agnihotri, Komal Gaikwad, Mansi Mehindittara, Rasika Nilatka, and Riddhi Nilavar. Atharva, please show them the topic for the second group. Yeah. Thank you so much, Atharva. After the 1 minute, timer will start. Atharva, after 1 minute. Atharva, please start the timer. Participants, you may start. I will not interrupt till the minutes are over.
I would like to start. This is Akanksha Singh. I'm currently a second year MCA student at IGGTUW.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt. Hello. Am I audible? Actually, I am having another task to do, and I have already been a part of group discussion. Can I leave the meeting, please? I'm also having a bad network this side.
Anyone who wishes to leave the meeting can do so.
Okay.
Please
Thank
continue. Group 2.
Yeah, so I totally agree with the title. Like AI is totally revolutionizing healthcare sector. As we have seen many examples, especially during this pandemic, there have been many machine learning models and deep learning models that have been developed to actually detect and early detection of COVID-19 by just scanning X-rays of patients. And we also saw the example in past as well, like there was this Da Vinci surgical system which was used to show the precision by peeling the skin of the grape last year, and it shows that how they have evolved and how they are constantly improving and actually revolutionizing the healthcare sector, and will probably be some of the systems might replace some of the doctors and some of the uh, surgical systems that are currently used.
Hello everyone. I'm Dhruvita and I would like to talk about the topic.
there are already a number of research suggesting that AI can perform as well as or better than humans at key healthcare tasks. For example, diagnosis of cancer or such things. Today, AI has huge impact on almost every field. Like if we take example of this, algorithms are already outputting radiologists at spotting tumors. So like it can be better than human. Like some things are like human can see some things, and AI is it is believed that in future AI can see things not captured or like which are not drawn humans attention. It can assist doctors in finding the right treatments among many options for cancer, or it can help capturing data from various databases related to conditions, or it can help physicists in identify and choose the right drug for the right patient at the right time. So yeah, I do agree that AI is revolutionizing healthcare.
Hi, this is Mansi.
Hello everyone.
So,
Okay, Mansi, go ahead.
hi. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so yeah, I'm completely in the motion with the statement. AI is definitely revolutionizing our healthcare systems. There are many examples to support this. For example, during the recent COVID times, there have been robots carrying out the works of nurses, checking their fevers and looking after the patients in a very efficient manner. So that's a great point, and it has helped us throughout this situation. Other than that, there's one more area, the use of AI in our mental health, creating chatbots and interacting with people, allowing them to share and taking care of their mental health is one of the most important, surprising things that AI does. So I completely believe that it has added a great value to our healthcare systems. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I'm Khushbu Agnihotri, and I definitely agree with my teammates. All the points that they have said, like from training our machines to diagnose the scans and everything through ML, and then creating algorithms which help you to find tumors and everything. AI has definitely revolutionized the healthcare. In fact, we have created chat box and all so that you can self-diagnose, because the already algorithms and ML is working on it. And if you tell it that you're having a headache, it will tell you maybe the reasons why you are having the headache, and so on. You can diagnose yourself that whatever is happening to you. um like
Hello everyone, this is Komal Gaikwad from GHR CEM Raisoni, GHR CEM Pune. I totally agree with all of my teammates that AI is a revolutionary in healthcare. It also helps us to improve the diagnosis, detect the diseases, and as one of my friend has already said that AI, she want to do this in the dental work. So as we know, in this pandemic, the dentists cannot do their works because, as we know, it is how this disease is spreading. So this AI can help in in dental work also, and it helps us to detect the different diseases such as the breast cancer in women and etc. Thank you.
Hello, this is Janvi. About the topic AI is revolutionizing healthcare, I also totally agree with all my teammates that it is actually revolutionizing healthcare. We all know that main thing in all our lives is time, data, and management of both these is very much important. That is why this AI has made all this much efficient, and it is able to handle all these things efficiently. Coming on to healthcare sectors, diseases as well as many new technologies are coming, and I remember the most means habitual example which I use in my phone is that recording my heartbeat, so I can test it with the help of my phone easily, though I don't have any BP instrument or something like that. So I also agree that AI is revolutionizing healthcare. Thank you.
Yeah, hello group. Like we all know, sorry, myself Nikisha, and I will too go completely with in the motion with my group. We all know like the ultimate goal of AI is to help human beings, help us, and in healthcare is to improve patient outcomes by revolutionizing treatment techniques, by analyzing complex medical data and drawing conclusions without direct human input. So AI technology can help researchers make new discoveries. So some of the ways by which AI is transforming healthcare is the ability to improve diagnostics, advance treatment options, boost patients' adherence and engagement, and support uh, administrative and operational efficiency. And like many are led, many are going in count. So yeah, I agree. AI is revolutionizing healthcare. Thank you.
Hello, myself Riddhi, and I'm from GHRCM Pune. According to me, the artificial intelligence in the healthcare sector mainly uses the computer techniques to perform the clinical diagnosis or treatments, and it also has the capability of detecting the meaningful relationships in the data set, and also it can be widely used in many clinical situations or in diagnosis, in treatment, or for predicting the results also, we can say. And meanwhile training the physicians and health workers, means fortunately we can, artificial intelligence can help the healthcare sector to overcome the present and future challenges too. So my point is that AI is important in healthcare center. Thanks.
Hello everyone, I'm Naimisha. I totally agree with AI is revolutionizing healthcare. Coming to it, AI is basically it was developed to help us. It has been helpful in many ways, like home monitoring devices and diagnosing diseases in a faster and easy way. So I would like to explain this with an example. So it's very difficult for an infant's mother to take care of a child all the time, especially during the night. So there are some wearable sensors or sensors which can be kept under, the child's bed, so that if there's any change or if the child is facing any trouble, immediately a buzzer or a notification will be sent to the parents' phone, and they can come and check out. This will be helpful for both the mother and the child. So thank you.
Hello, this is Khushbu again. Like, also, I would like to add a point that AI in healthcare is not only limited to training your machines and creating algorithms, but AI has been a great help in advancing the prosthetics as well. Because the people with disabilities who need prosthetics, like suppose a person has unfortunately lost his hand, now on, like, because of AI the prosthetics are so advanced that unlike earlier prosthetics which were like not mobile, we have come up with new prosthetic hands which can even move and just work like your natural hands. So AI has been a great help in that field also.
Anyone wants to add something to this, or would you guys like to conclude
Yeah,
for
I
group
would
two?
like to add.
Yeah,
I would
please
like
go ahead.
to, I would like to add. We know that AI is good and all that, but there can be a possibility that medical AI could cause human doctors to lose their jobs. Like at this stage, it is limited to diagnosis, right? So the opinions that the doctor can make good use of it is good, but there can be chances that the AI could replace human doctors, and that seems scary. Yeah, I'm done.
Actually, I just want to add on a bit. AI is already being used because recently I read an article that in a university in Hong Kong, they created an artificial arms that were trained by a doctor. He performed a surgery, and with those algorithms and observations, those hands learned how to operate on a human body. And then after learning from those algorithms and all that things, that system performed a similar operation with more efficiency and more accuracy on another body which wasn't alive, and it was even more accurate than the actual doctor.
Yeah, exactly my
So
point.
you have a point, but it can also be used for a good cause. Like maybe there are some organs where it is not possible to reach humanly, and it takes a lot of labor and work from human efficiency, but machines can easily do it with more um, accuracy.
Yeah, that's true, but machine can just think how much you have taught them. Like I say, if I tell a machine to sit, he can learn to sit. He can learn to sit in different positions.
I'm sorry,
That's
guys. I
not.
have to cut you here because we have other participants as well. But I hope you continue discussing the same things in the group. Okay, so for the next group, Atharva, can we show them the topic for the next group? Okay, I'll be reading up the names. First of all, I don't know who this is, 178W180. I mean, whoever she is, she will be there in this group. Then we have Ishika Gupta, Kanishka Agrawal, Nitya Shri, Nidhi, Pooja Lakshmi, Saili Ingle, Medashweta Sen, Aditi Bodade, Ankita Saloni, and Asfar Rahman. I will repeat that 178W, followed by Ishika Gupta, Kanishka Agrawal, Nitya Shri, Nidhi, Pooja Lakshmi, Saili Ingle, Medashweta Sen, Aditi Bodade, Ankita Saloni, and Asfar Rahman. Atharva, after 1 minute, please be sure to start the timer after 1 minute. Yes, please go ahead and please wind up in time.
Hi.
So hello everyone. I'm Hima Parasa. If I had to share my perspective towards AI, towards AI implementing AI in defense sector, I would say that with great privilege comes with great responsibilities as well. We cannot underestimate the possibilities that AI is capable of doing. So we could come up with robots, and instead of using human power, we could use machines and extreme technology to overcome the victim in the war. So even though we have the privilege to do that, we will at the same time be demolishing the nature as well. It will have an impact on the earth and and the environment that we have to live in and the future generations that have to live in. So as to conclude, I would say that AI does have a huge impact on any kind of technology that could be implemented, but in defense sector, it would be a huge loss to humanity and the nature that the earth possesses.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nitya. And yeah, I do agree that AI, if in case it was used in defense, it could lead to global destruction. Firstly, when we talk about AI or when we talk about machine learning, it's all about algorithms getting incorporated into a machine, and we just make it perform a specific task. So talking about defense, like there was this article that I read about. So it basically says that Elon Musk, he basically stated that if in case there is a third world war, he basically told that he would like it to be more automated. He'd like more robots to be in and stuff. But I completely disagree with his statement, because if in case we incorporate certain human destructions into the algorithm, or some sort of a bad algorithm into a particular machine learning model, without knowing or intentionally, that could create a lot of destruction to the country. And yeah, I think this statement, I'm just going to go against it. I mean, I'm just going to go for it. I mean, I'm pretty sure it will lead to a global destruction.
Hello? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Hello, hi. I'm Nidhi. So on this topic, I would like to say that AI cannot differentiate right and wrong, and if given a choice if given a choice to maximize human happiness, I think it can very well kill all sad people. So and in the movies like such as Matrix or iRobot, etc., have shown that machines try to rule human if given a chance. So because because thus they try to minimize the emotions or or emotions rationally, I would say. And a machine cannot understand what is negotiation, pain, etc. So basically the difference between right and wrong, or you can say the good and bad, is very subjective. And machines or machine learning do not do it well, I think. So this is my point. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Kanishka. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hi.
Yes,
Hi. So I strongly agree with the motion, because I couldn't think of any better example than Iron Man. I know it wasn't the reality, but I think it could turn into reality if we use AI in defense. I think that AI has a very wide scope, and it will lead to global destruction to a great level, I think. I mean, not a great level, but a terrible and terrific level, I would say.
Hello, this is Pujya Lakshmi. I totally agree with the points that my teammate gave. I'm also a great fan of Iron Man, and as my teammate suggested, Iron Man will globally it will help in defense. I also agree and disagree with the point that AI, if used in defense, will lead to global destruction, because sometimes it is helpful and sometimes it's not. As in Iron Man, he trained his robot to help humanity, but there can be any destruction at any time if the robot went wrong, as we have all seen in movie Robot, that the robot chip was detached with some default and he used to kill human. So I would say that AI is used in defense will lead to global destruction, as well as it will helpful if we give it a proper instruction, it is helpful. And if something went wrong, then yeah, that's all my point. Thank you.
Hello, I am Saili Ingde from Akola. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you're audible.
I am totally agree with my teammates. It is
not helpful that much. But if we are use a proper algorithm on the AI system, then it's sometimes helpful in the defense. But in this the global destruction, it is not that much helpful. It dangerous for humans. Thank you.
Hi everyone, it's Ishka Gupta. I agree with the point that if AI is used in defense, it will lead to global destruction. Like if we see if any of the country has developed any AI-based system for military base, so what it will do is first of all it will try to legally to use it to test it, make $1 billion investment on that particular system or the board, and it would try to overpower the other countries, which instead of leading to world peace, will lead to world wars. And we know that AI works on data. The fuel for the AI system is the data. Once if we feed the wrong data to the military bot of AI system, so instead of doing the work which was to be assigned to it correctly, it will do something wrong, and instead of the correct work, something wrong would be done, which would lead to destruction.
Hey everyone, this is Aditi. Thing I wanna say is we cannot completely blame AI for any destruction or something, as if we humans train the models, right? So there might if any minor error comes in, so it needs to be solved. It needs to be solved over in there only. Otherwise, it will lead to a bigger one, and then destruction will happen. And if everything in a limit, if used, is okay. We humans also make many mistakes, so we cannot completely blame AI for any destruction, as and also we cannot give full authority to AI to right from very ground level to handle everything. So if AI used in a way, great. Thank you.
Yes, Aditi, you are very correct. I agree with you.
Thank you.
Hello. So anyone wants to add something to this, or would you guys like to conclude?
To conclude, I could say that there are many advantages of using AI in technologies in terms of defense as well, such as using in terms of drones or advanced algorithms for detecting the destructions happening in the field of their area, or even like advanced algorithms for detecting the any kind of changes that are happening in their proximity. And but like global destruction is inevitable only unless if the technology is limited to the digital world, and trying to figure out what to do in terms of computer knowledge. But if it is brought onto the battlefield, global destruction is a must, and humans are prone to like extinction. So that's that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hima. Atharva, please show the topic for the next group. Okay, so for the next group, we'll be having Soumya Swara Naik, Sneha Mane, Subhadra Kumari, Shivani Gurbani, Shalini Pukella, Bhavya and Bhavya, both the Bhavya, Harika Vattam, Shivani Darkar, Shilpa S, and Anushri Bansal. I repeat, for the next group, we'll be having Soumya Swara Naik, Sneha Mane, Subhadra Kumari, Shivani Gurbani, Shalini Pukella, Bhavya and Bhavya, both Bhavyas, Harika Vattam, Shivani Darkar, Shilpa S, and Anushri Bansal. Atharva, after 1 minute, please start the timer.
Hello everyone, my name is Shalini. Today I would like to discuss about some possible rules by which we can implement AI to be safe in a safe manner. Firstly, I would like to talk about AI a little bit. AI, or the augmented intelligence, is mostly focused on improving and scaling human expertise, and it is usually done by attempting to replicate human intelligence, and it has got vast ability to transform vast amounts of complex and ambiguous information into insights, which have the potential to solve many business problems. So usually there will be three useful practices which can be implemented for the safety of AI. One is to develop guidelines of AI safety, which actually includes the getting familiarization with AI more in the sense of coding and various other techniques and the basic concepts of AI. So first of all, we need to get familiarized with the AI very much. And after that, we have to be able to manage the data with integrity, in the sense that we need to identify the problems, what we want to solve, and accordingly we have to do the framework so that it can help solving the business problems and any other related problems, whatever we want to solve using the AI, such as image recognition, using various kinds of software or programming techniques like NLP and many more. And apart from that, we have to prioritize the concrete value too, so that it can help to a great extent. And lastly, the main point we need to discuss is to how to validate and verify it. It's very much important to validate and verify whether we are doing it in an appropriate way. So I think so that we need to basically follow a set of guidelines in order to prevent the safety practices of AI.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bhavya Shri. I would like to give a little insight about this AI. The main thing while we are developing a model, we mainly consider accuracy. I think it's the most important thing to get the more accurate, to develop a more accurate model. So while we are developing AI models for, let's say, healthcare or defense systems, the thing we should consider is we should develop the model such that it is more accurate, because a little mistake in that field causes a lot of it costs greatly. So I think for getting more accurate results, we should consider large data sets, and we should collect more data samples from all over the field, and we should develop it. I think this is the rule to implement a safe AI, because the model is well developed and it is well accurate, and we should always revise the model frequently, so to improve the model a little bit more. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Anushri. So talking about some possible rules to implement safe AI, I think AI can never in any case replace humans and human intelligence, human emotions. So when we talk about implementing safe AI, I think we should talk about mixing or implementing AI along with cybersecurity in order to prevent everybody's data, because data privacy is also very important, and AI can be used in doing so. And also, I think some moral or ethical algorithms should be used. And other than that, I think AI can also be used to
Hello everyone, I'm Shivani. I would like to add that we should run a number of test cases before, because in many cases like cancer diagnosis, sometimes it may happen that it will detect negative even if the patient is positive. A recent event also happened about Tesla car accident, where The Tesla car was an AI car and it just ran into a truck. It may take someone's life also. So AI should be first trained properly to gain proper accuracy.
Hello everyone, I'm Shilpa. So what I feel is, as we know now, AI has actually come a long way. We can actually see it in many of the gadgets that we use in our day-to-day lives. So it's really important that the systems which use AI should be safe and secure, because we are going to use it for a long time, and the systems usually work with the data which we provide them. So mainly we should see how we can protect the users data and the privacy, and protect it from all the third parties. So we should ensure no hacking can take place. That is, we need to have a tight security, and then we must have some plans and measures in case our AI system will be subjected to any attacks. Yeah, that's the thing.
Hey guys, I'm Bhavya, and according to me, the safe measures to implement a safe AI model is, I'm just giving an example, a simple example. Suppose you have an image, okay? There's a model which has to predict what image it is. So it should not learn the image in one way. It should learn it in multiple angles, rotations, the flipping, and everything. That is one thing. And one more thing is, suppose you have a data where you have age, which can be from 10 to 90 years, and if you have salary, which will its salaries range will be maybe 10,000 to 1 lakh. So when you're training the model, the salary attribute should not dominate the age attribute. So proper feature scaling should be performed on that, and also good data processing should be performed. Like if you have some missing data, either if the missing data, you can drop the missing data, you can delete the missing data, or if the missing data contains very important information, then you can replace it by using a mean, or if it is like some if you have a data like weather data where you have like sunny, cold, all these things. So in that, you can fill it with mode, the most repeated variable or the most repeated value. And you can also perform data visualization to check how one attribute is affecting the target variable. So based on that, you can take right measures and you can avoid the ambiguity in the data. And also you can even check for overfitting. So, as somebody told, accuracy is very important, yes, but is the accuracy, is it high accuracy because of overfitting? So we should make sure all that, and we also should choose the right parameters for the machine learning algorithm that we will be working with. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Harika. I totally agree with the point that safety is the main concern when it comes to self-driving cars, as it completely revolves around the life of a human. So the safety tests of a car should be implemented in such a way that the safety is implemented in every possible way. So because it revolves around the life of a human, so safety is a main concern. So that's it.
Hello everyone.
Hi, this is.
Hello
Yeah,
everyone.
go on, please.
I'm Shivani Gurbani. I would like to add some points. First of all, we have to make guidelines and then collect data, and then whatever data is feed need to be tested. Testing number of times if it is working properly. Or we should make it published or make it publicly. By making it publicly, this can lower risk of destruction and implement it safe and enjoy advanced technology. As we all know that world is advancing and we also started using AI in our daily lives. Communication with AI is fun. You may all feel when you use your Google Assistant. Thank you.
Hi, this is Sneha. I would like to add some points. Like AI is something that it helps humans to uh, make their work easier, but it should also have some rules to implement so that we can have safe AI in future. And AI is both faster and smarter than any human. It's unlikely that any rule could be made that didn't have loopholes that the AI could exploit, I think. And if AI systems are safely implemented, also business or companies may get ample amount of valuable insights in their profits. It is not only to make rules but also to implement in uh, proper manner, I can say. And testing is the important factor that I think, because if the testing is not done, I don't think proper the AI will work in proper way. So that's all I want to say.
Also, I would like to add a few more points. One is that, mostly the AI safety, the question of safety actually usually depends upon the builder itself. I think so. It's important to check for the human errors and the kind of programming or the maths involved behind the machine learning during the implementation of the certain kind of AI, usage of AI. And apart from that, the human validation is also one of the major points, as most of my teammates have already said before. And I think so. Once if the system is able to extract by itself, without the intervention of human, then I think so it will be a catastrophic. So it's important to update it and manage it and control it, especially in a consecutive manner. That's all I would like to add. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys may conclude if you want.
Well, to conclude, I would like to just say that AI mostly depends upon three main, concerning the safety of AI, it mainly depends upon three, as we have discussed before. The last main point is that the validation plays a major role apart from the process and understanding of the AI. So it's very much important to follow the sequential steps, like for starting with the understanding of AI and the concepts of AI. After that, following with the procedural steps of machine learning, which is a sub part of AI. And after that, going ahead with the proper validation and submission of that AI task, whatever AI concerning is related to. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shalini. Athava, can we have the topic for the next group? So members in the next group will be Nidhi Rucha, Shruti Kumbhare, Sejal Bhalla, Kamalpreet Kaur, Anusha Thakre, Yamini Nagvanshi, Trina Chakraborty, Sujana Devaldu, Sonali Nandgopalan, Oshin and Sakshi Tekam. I repeat, Nidhi Rucha, Shruti Kumbhare, Sejal Bhalla, Kamalpreet Kaur, Anusha Thakre, Yamini Nagvanshi, Trina Chakraborty, Sujana Devaldu, Sonali Nandgopalan, Oshin and Sakshi Tekam. Athava, please start the timer after 1 minute.
Yeah, Paresh, sure.
participants who are finished with their group discussion can leave if they want, or they can stay.
Hi everyone, I'm Sonali. So our topic is AI is disrupting jobs, robots replacing humans. Is it good or bad? I think that AI disrupting jobs is actually bad. For the past so many years, we've been coexisting with each other. We've been providing for each other's needs. There's a sector which provides for us, and we form a sector which provides for the other people. But once robots start replacing us, there's only going to be a few people who will be able to continue to probably the people who are developing these robots, trying to upgrade them, who will continue to work, while the rest of us who have gone through school, gone through colleges, have done anything, are going to lose our work. Now, for example, if you see in the healthcare sectors, now we have robots to do surgeries. And now considering the fact that we have proven that it shows high results of accuracy, it replaces the doctor because they think, okay, so the robot can do things with much more perfection compared to the human error of a doctor. So what about the doctor? He's gone through 5 years of learning, then he's done his masters, and he's gone through training. So end of the day, we all need to help each other. So if the robots are going to replace us, then how are we going to be like a humanity? How are we going to stand together? The robots will finally, end of the day, take us up. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Hello everyone, I'm Sujana. According to me, if coded properly, robots can work more accurately than humans. In some places, like human can't go, like explore in space and endure problems that would injure or kill us, and could complete dangerous tasks, etc. But because of people who become jobless due to these robots, it had some bad impact, or else robots can be used in a good way. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone. Sorry, that topic has changed. So can you please go back? Oh, okay, right. So hello everyone, I'm Kamalpreet Kaur. So to some extent we can say that robots are replacing humans, but I think that if we look generally, the robots cannot overtake or take over the human intelligence, so they can only assist humans, right? They cannot take over their jobs, if we talk about wholly at a broader sense. So I think that to deal with some of the consequences of AI, humans can reskill themselves. So in future, if this happens, so humans can reskill in different domains in AI sector. So that would be beneficial. But I think to some extent, AI is replacing the jobs. So it's not good. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Rucha. I totally agree with some of the points my teammates have already presented. AI is replacing human jobs, and it is not good in my opinion, because there are some things, I understand that there are the employers or any companies or a business who always look for achieving higher profits or efficiency at the end of the day. The amount of work is being done at their place, and always it's a human nature that we always look for something which can do something better to us. But in certain cases, I believe that there should be coexistence. If robots are more efficient, then there should be interference of humans, as in they should be working both at their places, at their pace, and at their intelligence. It shouldn't be the case that we all look for the ease that robots can make, I mean, the faster work or the accuracy or intelligence, because it sometimes may hinder the culture of the work area, in future. And I think there should be coexistence. Totally replacing human jobs is bad in my opinion. So that was my point. I look forward to the points of my teammates.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I agree that AI will replace jobs in sectors, especially in sales, marketing, IT, and medical sectors. But if we look at the positive point, we can see that works like creative works, for example, painting or other writing and all, people can finally give more time to all that, and like that we can, like, humans can explore in that sector. And nowadays normally people have to work from 9 to 5 or 9 to 9. That time can be reduced and people can spend that time in more exciting or things, or more, or can give more time to their families. So maybe that can be a good thing. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, I'm Anushka Thakre, and I want to add some points here. I'll go with both of the points. Like AI is distributing jobs. It's good and it's bad also. It's good because it is working as a helping hand. It is it is doing work in less time, and it is doing a good impact on our work. And as well as on the other hand, it is doing as a bad impact because it is replacing our jobs. As you can see, due to this pandemic situations, some of us have some of the people have lose their jobs, and it is very difficult. And we are just we are just working hard just to get jobs, and yeah, to be employed. It will be the worst situation. And yeah, thank you.
Hello, myself Sakshi Tekam. So I think AI is helpful for solving problems related to medical diagnosis, a learning system that brings expertise of generation in atomization. And the field like is generative designs are going to be valuable of invention in electrical generation. So it's good for the medical diagnosis and if we look after the AI, if we use as a AI into social networks, ways of influencing customer decision, so this will be bad. That's it.
Anyone else wants to add something to this? You guys would like to conclude?
Yeah, one thing I want to add that if AI is taking or replacing jobs of humans, so I think simultaneously AI is also increasing the jobs, right? So you will be needing operators to operate the robots, or like you need some assistance for robots as well, right? So robots will be equally creating jobs as well. So only thing we can say that we need to reskill ourselves in that domain. Thank you.
This is Sujana again. One possible situation, however, being a caretaker for elderly is a situation that needs special attention due to the delicacy of the matter. So they need robots and they can work accurately in that situation. And this is the matter how we use the technology. If we use in a good manner, it will help us with good effects, and it is only necessary to use the modern technology in a good sense of its purpose, like in a man-robot relationship. Okay, thank you.
I think everyone in the group 5 have spoken. Atharva, can we have the topic for the next group? Okay, so group 6, there will be S. Shivani, Smriti Naik, Shrutika Patle, Yamini Nagvanshi, Namrata Tanwani, Ankita Saloni, and Sakshi Singh. I repeat, S. Shivani, Smriti Naik, Shrutika Patle, Yamini Nagvanshi, Namrata Tanwani, Ankita Saloni, and Sakshi Singh. And Sheetal Nikam, Snida Agrawal, and all the people who are remaining. Actually, you guys have joined late, so I'm quite confused about this. Also, Prakriti Sharma. The remaining ones, please.
Can we start?
Yes, please go ahead. Atharva, timer.
Okay, so hi, I'm Prakriti. I'm from Bangalore. And the topic given to us is AI is the new electricity. So the way electricity was a great advantage to the globe, so is AI. And I wholly believe with it. Artificial intelligence is something not most humans can do. There is a concept of IQ because of the difference in different human beings, and AI being crafted by one of the like by the most intelligent people on the earth, it is capable of doing things that not everybody is capable to do. So electricity was a new invention. It gave us new possibilities. Like I think everything we have around us today is because of electricity. So the same way we are beginning with AI, with artificial intelligence, but there will be a point somewhere where everything will be because of AI. It'll be like a general thing, like food, water, electricity. That's how electricity comes to us, to the future generations. That's how artificial intelligence will be.
Hello, everyone.
Go on.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Shivani, and as I would like to add the points for the introduction speaker. So as electricity was a new invention, and many people are skeptical about that, and like now we are about AI, that it will replace the jobs and it will take over the globe and all of that, and it will but we adapted to it as I'm very sorry, as a society, and we made our jobs around the electricity concept. And in a similar way, we are also as we move ahead, we are also going to adapt to AI. Like we'll create new jobs around it, and we'll adapt to it. And without as we cannot imagine our life without electricity now, we cannot imagine our life without AI in the future. That's my opinion, and it will be a great advantage to us, because if AI takes if AI slowly starts slowly starts coming into all of the fields, we can reduce the menial labor, and and also all of our jobs will be replaced by skill, so that everybody who has a skill will get a job. And also there will be more free time, and there will not be unnecessary killings and all. In defense sector and all, and the healthcare will improve our and all of such advantages will be due to AI. So that's my point. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. My name is Ankita Saloni, and my point of view in this is like, though when electricity wasn't there,
when it came, it brought complete revolution. Like earlier, people could not used to imagine those things which came into picture after the invention of electricity. And in the similar way, the things AI is doing, these things, like no one could probably have conceived it before, like 20 years, 30 years back. But everyone knows everything has its pros and cons. So electricity can either light things up, like it can light things up. On the other hand, if it's mishandled, or due to some reasons, it can also take lives. Like if someone came in contact with it, it can also claim lives of that person. So in the very same way, like in the healthcare sector, though artificial intelligence and a lot of things are changing the entire scenario, entire perspective. And in the upcoming next 15 to 20 years, maybe it could be it can replace humans. But what I feel is that if they'll be doing their job, so the thing that differentiates a robot from a person is that they do have more accuracy, but they don't have such emotions. Like doctors treat patients on the basis of the intensity of pain, which I think cannot be measured by robots. In the same way, it can be implemented in defense sector as well. But if any if any error crept in, it can kill someone who isn't an enemies, the person of your teams. And there are many examples, like the failure in if it's in a lift and the door closed while someone is in between. So such examples are there which can come up if everything is being dominated by AI. So I think like everything has its pros and cons. If we use it in a proper way, like by in a very balanced manner, then I think that yes, it can be a great advantage for everyone. Thank you.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, please go on. Sorry.
Hello everyone. I'm Shrutika Patli from GSRC Nagpur. I would like to add some points on this topic, that as AI is the new electricity, so the way electricity was great advantage to globe, so AI is that electricity supplies the power to our power to the appliances in our house. So the AI also give a chance to enhance our knowledge in different fields. Thus, as electricity makes the things easier in a simpler way or in advanced manner, AI is also helping us to develop our for the development and in easier way to handle the things. That's all. Over to our teammate.
Hello everyone. This is Namrata from GHRCM Pune. I believe that whatever human mind can think, it can achieve. And so artificial intelligence is to mimic human intelligence. And just like electricity, now people cannot live without electricity. There would come a point where people would be highly dependent on artificial intelligence. Just like initially, one of the spokesperson that was, she's a dentist. She said she wanted to collaborate machine learning and her medical field together. So there would come a point where each and every field would be dependent or collaborated with artificial intelligence. And so, yes, I believe that AI is the new electricity. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Acha, you go ahead.
Okay. Hi, myself Sheetal Nikam from GHRCM Pune. I agree with the AI is the new electricity. It will also transform every industry and create a huge economic values. And it is also good at automating tasks and will have an impact it on every sector. But we should also think of that every coin has a two sides. So AI also has a positive as well as negative side also. So every person should not get addicted with the AI. We should dependent, but not that much. So it also consider that it has a two sides. So basically, it is a 50-50. AI is a new electricity, but we should proceed with their guidelines that will not impact badly on any thing or any sector. Then it will be obviously advantageous for to the all over the globe. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Snigdha. I'd like to say that my friends have already said that why AI is so important and how is it, how like that we are comparing AI to electricity. And to just add facts over here, we have seen right now in like we have introduced coding since class 6. We are like our new education policy is introducing coding since class 6. We the highest paid jobs right now are of data scientist or or like people working in AI sector. We over here are gathered to learn a new different technology, a different area which isn't that developed. So AI not only is electricity, like not only can be compared to an electricity, but it also gives us a a way to like a pathway to help develop new ideas, because it's an unexplored territory till now, and it isn't developed that much. So we can still research and work on it, and also implement new ideas continuously in this field, which a lot which not a lot of fields gives us an opportunity to. So that's why AI can also be compared to an, like, we can say it's a electricity, it has a great advantage, but we can also say that AI can also help us in future, as it is, as like we still don't know it's how much of an impact it can make. We still can't predict how great things we can do with AI, which is why it gives a little edge to AI uh, for a learning purpose as a learner.
Hello everyone, I'm Sakshi from GHRCM Pune. I partially agree with all of my teammates. Like they said that AI is a great revolution, but also I believe that excess of everything is dangerous. To support my point, I would like to quote an example. Like in 2017, Facebook has to close its AI project because of the AI was developing its own language, which was ununderstandable to humans. So I would like to say that AI is, of course, a revolution. It's helping humans. It's bringing revolutions to our world, changing the way humans work. But if we don't use AI as an advantage, it can also be proved to be a disadvantage to humans. Of course, it may take our jobs, as I would like to say that every time we have used electricity is a great advantage to all of us, but it can also be a disadvantage. Like it can harm us. Similarly, AI can also harm us if we do not use it properly. Thank you.
I'd like to say that isn't it the case in every, like in every field which we learn, that there are always two sides of a coin. So like similarly AI also has a like
I totally
two-sided
agree
nature.
with you. I totally agree with you. Yes, of course. Just to address that point that AI can be harmful, I elaborated it.
As Ms. Sakshi said, the AI, I didn't know about it first of all, but as the application started creating a language of its own, don't you think we can be a little positive about how far the applications could go? Like maybe we could learn the language, maybe it could open new doors to us, maybe it could do things that we couldn't, like we don't think could be possible automatically, like computerized.
Well, of course, I said that AI is helping us in realizing the way humans think. But my point was we should use AI precisely, and we have to be careful while implementing a new technology. That was my point.
And as Miss Ankita Salwani said, she said something about AI being disadvantageous because AI doesn't have emotions. But I would like to ask her, does she know something called nepotism? Okay, so nepotism is a thing where somebody of power or somebody in a proper position use favorism, towards their friends, family, to somebody they know just because they can do that. So I think in AI, at least we won't have to deal with nepotism, which is a big deal these days. So
I think
So yes,
nepotism.
okay. Yeah, you are talking about nepotism. So I'd like to quote an example. Like, have you seen the movie Robot and how everything turned out in the climax scene? Like, what it was. Like, there was a lack of emotions. So he saved the girl, like, in such a situation, and later she claimed she committed suicide. And then when he introduced some emotions in that in that way also it became very dangerous and disastrous. So that is something is a two-edged sword. In either way it can harm you. So if it's in very balanced way, if we use it in a very balanced way, then it can probably create wonders. But otherwise, everything has two sides. So I just justified my point that yes, it can be harmful if not handled properly.
Miss Sankita,
Hello
I
everyone.
believe.
Hello.
Can I just answer her back? I'm so sorry. Yeah.
So
So
I
Miss
think
Sankita,
we should conclude because the time is ticking. So
yeah,
I
just
think to
2 minutes.
conclude.
We'll do
Acha.
that.
Okay.
So I think that if everyone was so cautious just because how things went bad in trial case, we wouldn't be where I was. I don't think I would practically be walking just because I fell a couple of times. So just because some trials went bad and just because movies presented it that way, I don't think it's okay for us to assume that AI could be dangerous. Maybe that's what the world needs right now.
I guess you don't you haven't properly heard the Facebook AI thing.
Oh,
Because
I
in
did.
that way the algorithm, the language they were creating, that was probably kind of that probably was sort of negative thing.
Do you
it
understand how
was
much?
it
I
was
think we could agree to disagree. We could just say that it has both the sides and like it has positive and as well as negative sides to it.
Yeah, that was I was
Thus
saying.
to conclude.
It has both of things, that pros and cons, so we should keep in very balanced way.
Yes, yes, exactly. So,
If
in order to conclude our discussion right now, I'd say that we have discussed how like why first important thing that why is AI attracting so much attention because it is creating a huge impact on on every industry and then we also talked about how AI exactly what AI exactly does.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Uh, all the group discussions were very interesting, especially the last one. Now, I request Vedant to give the closing note, and after that, forum will be open for your questions as well as your feedback. Over to you, Vedant.
Thank you, Paresh. I hope everyone can hear me. Okay.
Yes, Vedant, please go ahead.
Yeah, great. So it was really exciting to hear you all, and all the discussions were definitely very exciting. I heard a lot of things, a lot of concepts that you guys talked about can be potentially converted into a great idea, a research idea, a project. Could be pitched to other researchers. They'll like it definitely, and the group discussions were also great. I'll just like to add something that do you know when was electricity invented? Anyone? So the first instance of electricity, wherein a person produced electricity through produced static electricity by rubbing a few things, was produced in 1600, in the year 1600, and the first light bulb was invented about in year 1879. Do you see the difference? It almost took 279 years for electricity to be used in a gadget, in a basic gadget, which was a light bulb. Similarly, in AI has been invented in last few decades. Although we are running, the generation has become pretty fast. Still, researchers say that right now, whatever we have achieved is about 2% or 2 to 5% of what we will achieve in next 100 years. That means there is a lot of things which will come next. And talking about what will come next, yes, we can discuss over it. You discussed over it, fine enough. But at the end, everything remains uncertain, very uncertain. We hope everything be best, and there can be some actions taken from right now itself, wherein some safe practices shall be inculcated in development and implementation of these technologies so that the future is bright and we always get advantage over it rather than disadvantage. Thank you everyone for being a part of it. This sector or this session today was something unique other than what we had thought earlier, wherein like quizzes and sessions. So I hope you like this area, and please let me know if you sorry if you want sessions like this, not group discussion but something else, such interactive sessions to be continued and repeated for coming up sessions. Please put it in the chat if you are interested and if you want such things to continue. I hope you guys liked it. We'll come up with next courses, next modules soon for this the coming week, and do complete your backlog courses or modules from the data camp. And I hope you liked it. And that's me. Thank you. If you have any question, comments, suggestion, query, doubt about the She Codes program, please ask. No doubts? Okay. Yes, this was really great session as we were able to look forward to people's opinion as well. Exactly. Our one of the motto with such kind of sessions is that around last week you will be working groups and create projects. So for that, you need to start interacting with each other. Please also interact more on group, like even other than coding, introduce yourself, talk about what you do, tell what are you interested in future, just talk on random stuff, talk about web series, just connect with each other. Okay, the group is you can even make it semi formal, I won't say informal, don't just talk rubbish, but you can make it pretty fun. You can talk about web series, you can talk about movies, you can talk about anything, and connect to each other, start talking to each other, make sure that by the time this group ends you create a great number of connections. With this, I don't see any question. I um, thank you everyone for joining in. Paresh, shall we end?
Yeah, we can end, or we can just leave the meeting for them to chat, and organizing committee can leave.
We already, it's 8:45 and 23 participants only. Okay, fine.
Okay, so
If you want to stay back, you can. We'll keep the room open. Thank you everyone for joining in, and if you want, you can leave. Thank you.
thank you so much.